Well, this is for you if you have a business and you have between 2 and 15 employees and you're looking to get more sales or more customers or more clients. And if you're not certain where they're going to come from in 3 months' time, 4 months' time, 5 months' time. This is for people who are trying to grow and trying to set themselves up with a business that's stable and that doesn't keep them awake at night worrying, oh, where are our next customers coming from? So here's the step-by-step process for how to do that and how to have an easier life and a happier life. You need to become Yoda or Dumbledore or Gandalf in your industry. You need to become an absolute customer magnet. And the way you do that is you position yourself as the expert, because the truth is you already are an expert in your niche. You're an expert in your field. So what we want to do is we want to look at how do we demonstrate that to the world? Because when you are the expert, when you are the go-to person, when you're Yoda or Dumbledore or Gandalf, people come to you looking for advice, looking for ideas. They trust you, and then once you have that level of credibility with people, they will buy from you. So what I want to show you today is the step-by-step roadmap for becoming the obvious choice in a sea of competition. Okay, there is a sea of competition out there. You want to be the obvious choice, and you want to be the person that new customers are desperate to work with. They're coming to you, they're chasing you, not you chasing them. And the outcome of this would be you should be able to double your business profitability in 6 months if you follow these steps. So let's think this through. For you to be a subject matter expert, for you to be the obvious choice in a sea of competition, you want to be that guide, that teacher, that mentor, that, Gandalf, Lord of the Rings, he's a guide. Yoda is a teacher, he's a mentor, he's on your side, he's showing you the path. Why new customers will want you? You need to be really clear with them. Hold on, I'm a master craftsman. I've been doing this for XYZ period of time. I know what I'm doing. I can help you. Okay? You want to be known as the solver of hard things. It's like, yes, people come to me because they don't know what to do when I show them the solution. Whether they choose me or not to implement the solution, I don't mind. Okay? You want to have that mindset. You want to be able to explain solutions to challenging problems or problems that your customers find challenging. To you, they're not challenging. They're fairly routine. But you want to for you to be Yoda or Gandalf, you want to be able to go, well, here's your issue, here's why it's hard, here's the next steps to solve that. Because if you can articulate and explain what are the next steps and why would the next steps be necessary and why is it important, then suddenly people who are, they don't know what you know, they look at it and they're like, this person knows what he's doing. I want him to do my work for me because I trust that things will work out if he's doing that work. And the other thing you want to do with your new customers to be Dumbledore or Gandalf, Yoda, is you want to be able to anticipate what they're wondering before they actually ask it. So the sort of questions people ask you when you're first quoting or when you're first, in a meeting with them, they're always going to raise somewhere between 5 and 10 particular objections. No matter what your industry, you know what those 5 or 10 are. And so what you want to do is you don't want to wait for them to bring the objection to you. What you want to do is raise it yourself, because it takes the poison out of it. So if their objection is, price, then you bring it out into the light. You say, well, sometimes people worry about price, but it's because they're not seeing X, Y, Z. So you're going to them with their own objections, and you're explaining their objections before they even ask it. And that raises your status in their eyes. That tells them, well, this guy or girl is a subject matter expert. They know what they're doing. So let me show you the exact steps for you to be a subject matter expert in your field. Remembering, if you get these steps right, or even mostly right, you should be able to double your profits in 6 months. And that's a big claim. Okay, that is a big claim. But I've done it myself multiple times. I've equipped others to do it multiple times. It's actually just a straightforward process. And once you know the process, you're there. Okay, you are the subject matter expert. So the exact steps is, first of all, you want to plan out what you're going to be a subject matter expert in. You can't be a subject matter expert in everything. Secondly, we're going to have a look at your website, because your website is your shop front. It is your rocket fuel. It's what you need to do well with. And then the third thing is we want Google to want to marry your website. Okay, we want Google to think, wow, and Google's just a robot. It's very easy to give the robot what it needs. You need to be able to email out your best advice to everyone, and you need that in a straightforward way that you can do it without a whole lot of manual work. I'll show you that in a moment. And you need a YouTube channel. Now, the purpose of YouTube channel, you're not a teenager. You're not here, doing bicycle stunts or something to get attention. That's not it. You want a place where people can recognize, oh, this person knows what they're doing. It's a point of credibility. And then the next step is optional. It's Facebook ads or Google ads. Now, if you want to grow and you don't know where your customers are coming from in the next couple of weeks, you definitely want to do Facebook ads or Google ads or both. If you're someone who's sort of, look, you've got plenty of work right now, then you might push that off. And then number 7, people struggle with this, is you need to increase your prices for new clients. I'm not saying for every client, I'm saying for new clients. Your existing clients, keep them how they are, but new clients, increase your prices. I'll show you why and I'll show you how. And then the last thing is you've got to keep it up. Okay, so why be Yoda? Why be Dumbledore? Why be Gandalf? Well, customers listen to your advice when they view you as a subject matter expert, when they view you as the obvious choice in your business. They listen to your advice, they don't argue with you, they don't try and tell you how to do your own work. They just go, okay, you're the guru, you're the go-to. Customers are happy to pay higher prices because they feel a sense of safety and a sense of knowing that things won't go wrong when they're dealing with a subject matter expert. You get referrals very easily and you can pick and choose who you work for. So once you've got a big pipeline, a big amount of new leads coming in, new inquiries, you don't have to take them all. Right now, many of the people watching this, you have to take every inquiry that comes to you because you need the work. But imagine if you had triple that many inquiries coming in, you wouldn't really even be able to handle them all. So that means you can pick the ones that are best suited to you. And that's a joy. You get to work for people who are fun to work for. And having customers trust you means that there's less quibbling, less arguing, less back and forth. It's just, oh, well, he said it. Okay, let's go with that. And customers seeing you as the safer option means that they stress less, so they don't try and micromanage you or micromanage the process you're doing. And so that they're happy to pay more. I mean, who wouldn't pay more to know that there's a guaranteed outcome that they're going to be happy with? So many reasons to be Dumbledore or Gandalf or Yoda. Now, at this point, a lot of people have a thing in their mind of like, but I don't have enough knowledge to be a subject matter expert. It's like, well, what do you mean you don't have enough knowledge? And they think, well, there's people in my industry who have 20 years more experience. Yes, they do. But who are you being a subject matter expert for? For them or for your customers? Because to be a subject matter expert for your customer just means you need to know the exact steps of how to solve your customers' problems, not every single problem that happens in your industry or in your trade. So you do know plenty, and the other thing is you know how to apply your knowledge to the situations that your customers face. Maybe not to every situation that every customer faces, but to the customers that you work for. So you've got to keep in mind you do know more than others do about your own craft, and customers don't have as much expertise as you. It doesn't matter who you work for. If they had the expertise, they wouldn't be talking to you. And you've also got the real world experience, and like in your head there's like a whole encyclopedia of how you've dealt with things in the past that you bring to the table. And also you can troubleshoot, you can give solutions. So where Yoda or Gandalf or Dumbledore is particularly helpful is that when someone's stuck, when the hero in those movies is stuck, the subject matter expert lets them through that barrier, breaks the barrier, goes, oh, here's your next step. And then they're no longer stuck. And that's what makes you a subject matter expert. Now, you're actually not a subject matter expert unless you can take the knowledge in your head and explain to someone what the steps are and explain to them why those steps matter. But I don't mind who you are. If you know your craft, you can explain that. It's just a choice. It's just a practice. It's just a habit. So step 1, let's have a look at this step by step, because here's what I want. I want you to go and apply this straight away. I know you can do it. And if you get stuck, well, we're here to help. So step 1 is you want to work out, well, what are you going to be a subject matter expert in? You're not a subject matter expert in everything. You want to pick it's called picking your niche. You want to pick your target customer, know exactly which customer you're going to work for. And to do that, people get a bit stuck because they have this idea, I serve everyone. Well, you don't need to serve everyone when you're a subject matter expert, because you'll have more work coming to you. So who do you want to serve? Who are the people who have a challenging problem? Well, to them it's challenging, to you it's not. Who are the people who genuinely need your help? They have a reason to need you. Who will pay extra to get that higher level of quality or that higher level of reassurance that it will be done properly? And also, when you know who you are here to work with, then you automatically know who you're not here to work with. Okay? Because in your industry, you've got those customers there you're happy to work with, and then you've got these ones here that they're not your ideal customer. And you need to be able to explain to yourself, your staff, and your customers, here's exactly who I work for and here's who I don't work for. And as an example of that, in my business, I'll tell you who I work for. I work for people who have between 2 and 15 staff, and who are looking to grow, or at least who don't have enough work, okay? And who are willing to spend money on advertising through Facebook or Google Ads, or who are willing to spend money on site engine optimization, people who have the financial firepower to actually fix their own issues. And so that's actually a very narrow niche, and probably only about 1 in 10 people who watch this video fit that exactly. So when you know who you serve, then you also by default know who you don't serve, and that's what makes you the obvious choice in business. That's what makes you the obvious choice in a sea of competition. People could choose anyone, but they choose you because they've listened to you explain exactly who you serve, and they're like, oh, that's me, awesome. So step 2, your marketing rocket fuel is your website. Now you need a website that shows not just the normal rubbish that is on a website, but actually shows that you are Yoda, you are Gandalf, you are Dumbledore, you can solve their stuff. Now, most websites are generic, and most websites were produced because someone looked at, you looked at someone else's website, you went, oh, yep, that's how you do websites. Okay, and then people go to the standard. Oh, have a homepage, have an about page, have a this, have a that, have a that. It's like, no, the purpose of your website is not to copy every other website. That just makes you look generic. It makes you look like, all right, if you're going to have a website that's just like theirs, you're going to have to charge the prices that they charge, the generic standard prices. That's not your goal. Yoda doesn't charge standard prices, okay? If you employ Yoda, Yoda's going to charge what Yoda's worth. And if Yoda's website looks terrible, well, he's shot himself in the foot before he even starts, with whatever laser guns they have in Star Wars. So what are the most common and the most common problems and objections people have? That needs to be front and center in your website. Not, oh, here's our team. Oh, look, don't they look, flashy in their work clothes or work gear? It's like, no, that's not the purpose. People don't connect emotionally with, oh, I really want this, just because I saw a photo of your team or a photo of your shop front. People connect emotionally when you explain them what are the common problems and pitfalls that people in their shoes have, and then what can they do about it. So you turn your website not just into a marketing machine or a, hey, here we are machine, but into a, here's how you solve your issues machine. Now people say, hold on, but if I tell them the answer to what they're facing, they won't need to employ me. Not true. If you tell them the answer to what they're facing, they know you have the answers. They don't want to go and implement it themselves. They'd rather give it to an expert. They know that they can't do as good a job as you. So don't be scared of giving away your best stuff on your website. Also, your website should be transparent and unbiased. If, say you're doing, swimming pools, if you've got concrete pools and fiberglass pools and, I don't know, some other pool, you want to say really clearly on that website, here's the sort of person that concrete pools are good for, people with this criteria. Here's the sort of person that fiberglass swimming pools are good for, people with that criteria. And even if you don't sell fiberglass swimming pools, you only sell this, by being transparent and real on your website, you're showing the world we are subject matter experts, because we know who we don't serve, we know who we do serve. And if you're in this category, you will get in touch with us and be amazed that we're able to solve your specific problems. But there's that level of insecurity that we have as business owners of, I don't want to push anyone away. You do want to push away the people who are the wrong fit for you, okay? And you can afford to do that if you've got plenty of new people coming in the front door, okay? So that it's really important on your website that it's not just, oh, here's about where we are, what we are. It's here's solutions to your problems. And I see that in less than 2% of websites that I look at. I very rarely see that, and that's why so many people are having to charge generic prices, because they're not being viewed as a subject matter expert. Now, the other thing you want your website to do is to give away free information. Whatever information you can give away that is relevant to your target market, that's relevant to the people who are looking for you, that is gold. Give it away. Have free downloadable PDFs or ebooks. Do that in exchange for their email address, because then you're going to be able to email them later, and that's important. And just give away your best stuff. And also, one more thing, and this is such an important thing, do this. Have a look at your contact page and ask yourself, do I feel warmly invited? Because most contact pages are terrible. They're like, get in touch, here's a phone number, here's a website form, and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm at a stranger's front door. Do I go in? Do I not? I don't feel really welcomed. Instead, your contact us page should be warm, welcoming, have a picture of a couple of the faces, ideally of the people in your business, who they might meet, smiling, and something like, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get back in touch with you as soon as we can, so that they feel wanted and welcomed. Again, that's just one of 100 things that you want to get right on your website, but it's that sort of thing that we need to view, that that our website is the welcoming machine, the education machine, the information machine. It's the thing that causes someone to view us as a subject matter expert, to view us as Yoda or Dumbledore or Gandalf. Now, what's step 3? Step 3 is you want Google to want to marry your website. Okay, you want your website to be so attractive to Google that it's like, wow, how do you do that? Now, there's lots of technical stuff in the background, but if you can imagine this, if I wanted customers tomorrow, I'd use Google ads and Facebook ads. If I want customers in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months from now, I would do site engine optimization of my website, which is, it's called SEO. It's basically where you get your website so it's exactly what Google wants to see. It's very clear to Google who you serve, who you don't serve. It's very clear to Google what you do and what sort of people to show you to. Okay, so that is a massive amount of work in the background that most business owners would never have the skills to do. Just outsource that, pay someone else to do it, make sure they know what they're doing and they don't scam you. But don't try and do your own site engine optimization. You won't succeed. It's very complex. It's like a plumber saying to me, Michael, don't try and do your own piping for such and such complex job. I'd be like, okay, I trust your judgment. Trust my judgment. Don't try and do your own site engine optimization. So site engine optimization, there's 3 things that an expert will do. One is your on-site site engine optimization, which is how you make your page, your own website that you're completely in control of, super attractive to Google. Okay, so it wants to marry your website. That's important. It's called on-page SEO. Off-page SEO is how you get other people's websites to be starting to recognize you as an authority figure, as a subject matter expert. It's complex and time-consuming, but it's important. And then the third thing is, if you've got a local shop front, you're only serving your local community. You want your local search to be really on track, and that's things like Google Maps to like you. And there's a lot of stuff there. That's not so hard. People do it themselves at a fairly okay standard. But yeah, there's a lot to site engine optimization. But if you skip that step, you'll end up paying huge amounts of money for ads because you skipped an important step. Paying money for ads is like renting, whereas paying money to get your site engine optimization spot on, your own website looking so attractive to Google, paying money for that's the equivalent of, having a mortgage and paying it off, and you're building an asset that's not going to go away. Step 4, email your best advice to people who get in touch with you. Now, it's not email sales stuff. Oh, buy now, 20% off. Like, oh my goodness, it almost makes you want to throw up when you see that, because no one wants to read that. They put it straight in their spam folder, or they just mark you as spam. It's not about you selling to people. It's about you educating people. Okay, if you can do this well, if you can do this from a perspective of I'm here to serve people, I'm here to help them, not I'm here to get customers. Okay, if you can do it from a perspective of I'm here to help, people will pick that up, and they'll get educated by you, they'll learn stuff, and then they will want to choose you when it's time for them to buy. So an example of this might be, say, I don't know, someone who sells furniture. Okay, if you're selling furniture, you don't want to send emails that are like, oh, here's what we've got on sale at the moment, buy it. No. If you're selling furniture, you send out emails that are like, look, if you've got a well-lit house, this is the sort of furniture you choose. If you've got, a very shadowed house, we'll choose this color furniture. Or you might send out emails that talk about what to look for in determining whether the furniture is actually quality or not. If it's made in China, they're going to have these sort of joints. It's going to last 5 years if you're lucky. If it's made in, somewhere posh, it's going to have this sort of stuff. That's how you tell a quality piece of furniture from a rubbish piece of furniture. Now, nowhere in that did you say, we only have quality furniture, come buy from us. No. Instead, it's just educating your future customers. And you can, once you've got this up and running, you can even take all the customers you already have, and as long as you've set things up with permissions correctly, you can add them to the list as well. So you're constantly educating people, and by educating people, you are viewed as a subject matter expert. By educating people, you are the person who's helpful. You are the person they want to work with as soon as it's time for them to buy. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to grow an expert YouTube channel. Now, catch this. I'm not saying you're a teenager who does trick shots in table tennis or something, who's trying to grow their audience. Not like that. That's not what I mean. You need a place where you can send your ads for Google ads, for YouTube ads. You need that, but you also need somewhere that you can store all your videos for your own website. And by storing your videos on YouTube, guess what? YouTube and Google are good friends. They're the same company. Therefore, the more videos you have on YouTube and the more you're, referencing YouTube to your own website, it helps your site engine optimization. Not a huge amount, but a bit. But here's the thing, you need to be able to just turn the camera on and quickly and easily upload it. And YouTube is a good place for doing that. It's where I would always recommend people start. Now, what do you put on your YouTube channel? Well, have a look at this video you're watching. All I'm doing is taking the skills and content that I have and just making it out there for the world to use. Okay, I'm not asking everyone who watches this to get in touch with me today and buy this and here's my package. No. I'm just giving you the best stuff I have. Okay, and that's what you want to do on your own YouTube channel. And you might think, oh, but I don't want to have a YouTube channel. It's too much work. It's like, no, there are actually some very straightforward, simple ways of getting a lot of content very quickly, very easily, that will demonstrate that you're a subject matter expert. Okay, we're not teenagers. We're not trying to impress people. We're just trying to demonstrate that we have what the answers to the questions that people are coming to us with. So on your own YouTube channel, you need to be an expert. You need to be opinionated. You need to be very clear about what you do believe and what you don't believe. Okay, on what does work and what doesn't. And hopefully this video is an example of the sort of thing that you do on your own website. What you produce on your website, on your own YouTube channel, what you produce on your YouTube channel will be way shorter than this. This is a pretty comprehensive thing. So don't be like, oh no, I have to do this huge thing. No, keep it simple. Also, it's worth doing, say, 4 short videos a month rather than one big long one. Okay. And if you're having any trouble with this, look, I can show you some next steps. It's not that hard, and it's worth doing. And then at that point, people go, hold on, but I'm bad at explaining things, or I'm scared of getting on camera. It's like, well, that's a myth. One, you are better at explaining things than your customers are because you have the head knowledge that they don't have. And 2, you're worried about being on camera. Everyone gets worried about being on camera. Okay, when I first started, I was worried about being on camera. And it's just part of human nature. But once you produce a video, when that's seen by, 5,000 of your potential clients, potential next customers, suddenly it doesn't seem so bad. You're like, okay, good trade for you. We're an example of the sort of people who can help you. Another example is your teenage nephew can probably help you. Okay, just get someone to help you. Someone who'll show you the steps, someone who'll even do it for you and upload things for you and then weave the magic YouTube SEO stuff in the background for you. I don't care if you choose your next door neighbor's, teenage son to do it for you, or if you choose us, or if you learn the skills yourself. What matters is you have to have your YouTube channel going. Otherwise, you're not going to be viewed as a subject matter expert, and you just give it a crack. And if you're absolutely someone who just refuses to get on camera, do voiceovers over other video. Easy. Okay, or use another staff member. Now, Facebook ads, Google ads. This is where you get your quick boost. This is where you're like, oh, I need new customers. So an example of this would be, say, a mechanic who's already spent so much money on his workshop and his staff, but he's aware that there's these seasons where staff they don't have as much work. And so you've got this massive expensive overhead, but not enough work for it. And then what you can do in that situation, when you can see that there's not as much work coming in, you switch on your ads, and then, oh my goodness, magic, a couple of days later, you've got plenty of phone calls and plenty of inquiries, and then you can switch your ads off. That's one strategy. Another strategy is you just have your ads going at a low level all the time in the background, so you're always generating that new work, and you're doing that for a period of time until your site engine optimization kicks in, and Google loves your website so much, it wants to marry your website and is showing everyone who's relevant your website. So the mission for any sort of ads is to be willing to spend $1 to get $5 of revenue. So $1 of ad spend. Now, this is not a guarantee, it's not a promise, but most people I work with can, once they implement what I'm showing you, can plant $1 and get out $5 in revenue, not profit, revenue. Or they can plant 10 grand and get out 50 grand. Or they can plant $100,000 over a year into these sort of ads and get out $500,000 in revenue. The thing is, we need to measure our value that we get out of those ads in the lifetime value of that customer, not just the first purchase. If you measure it by the first purchase, you're like, yeah, that was all right. If you realize, hold on, so the mechanic who's just found a new customer, they've got that customer that day, but then they've also got them in 6 months' time and 12 months' time for a service. So that when you look at the lifetime value, these ads are so worth it. Absolutely worth it. And actually, just thinking on the topic of ads, do not be the sort of business owner who says, oh, we just use word of mouth. Word of mouth is not real. Okay, it's not something you're in control of. It's not something you can rely on. It's not real marketing. Word of mouth is hope. That's like me going, oh, for lunch today, we're having nothing. Like, that's not lunch. Okay, if I'm going to provide you lunch, if you come to my home, I'm actually going to have to do some prep and make lunch and give you lunch and invest in lunch. I can't be like, oh, the lunch today is nothing. We're just going to hope that food appears. Well, word of mouth is like that. So we can't be people who live on word of mouth, because you cannot grow a business sustainably on word of mouth. It's a hopeful thing that works when the season is good, when the economy is healthy. But as soon as the economy takes a dive, word of mouth is useless to you. It can't provide what you need. So let's have a look. The next step after that is to actually increase your prices. Now, why are you increasing your prices? Why am I telling you increase your prices? When you are Yoda, when you are Gandalf, when you are Dumbledore, you are the subject matter expert, and you are allowed to increase your prices because you are good at your craft. Why would you not increase your prices? You are not the 19-year-old kid out there who's trying to do the same thing. You are not the person who's just started and doesn't have your experience. You deserve to charge a premium. This idea of, oh, the going rate in my industry is this much. All that means is not that you're in the wrong industry. It just means you haven't differentiated yourself from everyone else. You haven't become the subject matter expert. So I want you to catch this. When you increase your prices by, say, 25%, so you were charging $100 an hour and now you're charging $125 an hour. When you do that, people go, oh, my profits, they'll go up by 25%. No, they won't. Your profits will probably double. Because if you're selling for, say, $100 an hour and it costs you, say, $75 per hour to deliver that, then your profit margin is $25 of that $100. But when you increase your prices from $100 to $125, your profit margin goes from, $25 to 25 plus 25 is 50. You've doubled your margins. You've doubled your profitability. So the thing is, people get nervous. They're like, oh, I don't want to do that. What if I lose customers? It's like, no. Just increase your prices for your new customers if you're nervous. And as long as you position yourself as a subject matter expert, they're happy to do it, because you are the obvious choice. In a sea of competition, you are the obvious choice. Among all the other businesses, you're the obvious choice when you are the demonstrated expert in your area, when you're the subject matter expert. And therefore, you increase your prices, you increase your profitability. And it's not being selfish to increase your prices. Why not? Because you're doing a good job and you're worth it. And if people want rubbish quality, they can get it from someone else. Now, the last step is to keep it up and also to stay focused. So you want to focus on producing videos for YouTube that then you also use on Facebook and Instagram. You can outsource all that stuff, but you want to be producing content, and that content you use on YouTube, but you also use it on your website. You always want to be making new pages, a couple of new pages a month that are demonstrating expertise and answering more questions. That's what Yoda would do if Yoda had a website. Do not get distracted by the shiny things. Oh, but there's LinkedIn and there's TikTok and there's Twitter and there's Snapchat. Look, there's 100 options. Just pick 2 or 3 that work really well. And those are the things that I've talked about in this session. So you keep it up, or even better, you get one of your staff members to keep it up, and you just don't go around getting distracted. Now, what to do next? What I've shown you today is super valuable. I can literally have a look at your website for you, and I will give you a completely free expert review of your website. It'll be 5 to 7 minutes long as a video, and I'll show you what's working, what's not working, and what steps you can take to improve it. And if that's helpful for you, I'm not asking for anything. I just want to show you the next steps. It's yours. And then from that, again, that's me practicing what I preach. That's me being the subject matter expert. And then hopefully that'll be a big help to you. If you want any extra help, find us at Athletic Koala. And we're here to help. And I hope you are too. Have a great day.